Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the Atibal Red Dot. Specifically I'm talking about the Atibal MCRD Pro. Okay, and the thing that distinguishes this, it has the dial. Okay, it has a physical dial that you turn. Okay, so as opposed to the they have another version where you have these buttons, these electronic buttons that you push up and down to change the brightness level. So this is the one with the dial. This one is somewhere between $80 and $90 from Optics Planet. You know, if you catch, if you get the discount codes and stuff like that, you can get this for about $80. I have 5 of these. I've had this one on this rifle for about a year. And this is a rifle that you guys will see me a lot of times. You'll see me doing a lot of bump firing with. I really like bump firing with this rifle. So this rifle takes a pretty good beating. If you notice, there's like scratches all over the rifle. I use this as a beater rifle. I use to train new shooters. Sometimes this will get, it'll get run through the dirt a little bit. So this gun gets a beating. Actually, you can notice even on the red dot itself, there's some scratches and stuff like that. So this red dot has held up pretty good. So it's bright enough. Another really cool feature is it takes the AAA batteries. Okay, so these are the standard AAA batteries, as opposed to those little round batteries, which I hate. The 2032s. I understand they're supposed to be able to last a little bit longer, but they're just annoying. I mean, I was just looking for some of those the other day at Walmart, and they were sold out, and they were sold out the last time I was there. So sometimes the little round batteries can be a pain in the ass to find. With the AAA batteries that this red dot uses, I mean, they're a lot easier to find. They're usually everywhere, and a lot of times if you really need to, you can pull them out of some other electronic device, because a lot of other electronic devices use them as well. So that's one of the cool features that I like. And you'll notice that it'll usually have this tube over here, and that's where the battery will sit in. So that's usually a good telltale feature that that this takes the AAA battery. Okay, so the red dot is it's bright enough. It takes a standard AAA battery. It's durable. Okay, like I said, I bump fired the crap out of that gun. And actually, the thing that first attracted me to this to Atibal was I saw a torture test video that they did, and I was really impressed. And I said, that looks like what I'm looking for. It's tough. It looks durable, and it's not expensive, because I have lots and lots of rifles. And basically, if you got a lot of rifles, you can't put like a $500 red dot on all of them. I mean, it's just not practical. So this is a good red dot that you can get for $80, where you can get a lot of these and put them on a lot of different rifles. Okay, so that fits very well into what I do as far as a firearms instructor. Okay, because all these guns are pretty cheap. That's a $500 gun. This was a I think it was a $500 gun when I bought it. Right now the AKs tend to be more expensive. As far as training people, I need to use cheap equipment that works and is reliable, and the Atibal fits into that category. Now, one of the things I'm going to put out there is that when I first got these red dots, basically all these red dots, I did have to replace them. Okay, apparently at the time that I was buying them, Atibal was having some, production issues from China. So every single one of these dots had a problem where basically, and it presented itself really quickly, usually within the first, almost immediately after I zeroed it in most of the cases. And what would happen is that the red dot would basically shut off. And it took me a while to figure out exactly what was happening, because it wasn't happening consistent. But the last time it happened, just to give you an example, on setting number 6, if from the gun shooting, it would, the dial would move a little bit and it would shut off. Okay, all the other settings were solid. It was just that setting number 6 was the one where if it shook a little bit, it would turn off. Now, Atibal does give a lifetime. Does have a lifetime warranty, so if some of them I sent back, the last 2 I sent back straight to Atibal. and they sent me a replacement. The others I had sent back to Optics Planet, and they gave me a quick replacement. And the replacements that I did get in have been working really well. Okay, so if you're a little patient, if you're willing to go through that trouble, if you have to, okay, I'm going to guess, that was a year ago, so I'm going to guess that by now they've fixed that problem, whatever it was. Certainly the next batch that came in, which is what I have on all these guns, works really well, okay? And it was worth the trouble that I had to go through to get these red dots, of buying it, and then replacing it, in order to get something that was cheap and works really well. Now these red dots have a 3 MOA, and what that means is that at 100 yards, the red dot's going to take up about 3 inches, okay? And what that means is that at 110 yards, basically it's going to take up it should take up about that much space. In reality, it almost seems to take up 3/4 of the paper. So, however that is. Well, I was actually shooting at 110 yards when I shot this, but, despite that, I got a pretty good grouping over here. I was using tool ammo. I just shot this before, and this grouping is pretty typical of tool ammo, where usually I'll have in a 5-shot grouping, I'll have 4 tight ones, and then there'll be 1 flyer. A lot of times what I find is if I do a 10-shot grouping, I'll have 8 tight ones and 2 flyers. So with tool ammo, I generally I discard 1 out of 5 shots. Okay, so there's a pretty tight grouping, basically what I do is because the red dot takes up so much of the paper, right? Like I said, it takes up almost 3/4 of the paper. What I do is I just look at the corners and the edges, and I try to center up the red dot on the paper in order to get tight groupings. Okay, so that's how that works. Now a 2 MOA red dot, which is 2 inches, it'll take up 2 inches at 100 yards, is obviously going to be a little bit finer, so you're capable of getting perhaps an even tighter grouping. But the problem that I find with the 2 MOAs, the 2 MOAs, basically because they're finer, it also means that they're going to be less bright, okay, especially on sunny day shooting. Okay? I had the Bushnell. I was using that before I got into the Atibal. I was using the Bushnell. That was a 2 MOA, and although I could get very tight groups, it just was not practical for sunny day shooting. I just bought a primary arms. I got the same one that's basically in the same class as this. Because I got the $80 one from Primary Arms, and that was also a 2 MOA. And I haven't even put on a rifle. I was just kind of looking at it, and I was saying same deal. It's just not bright enough for sunny day shooting. So for the type of stuff that I do with the tactical stuff, where basically you're doing a lot of coming up, finding your red dot, coming up, moving into different positions. You have to be able to come up and find that red dot really quickly and get it on target. It seems that the 3 MOA is where I need to be. Okay, so that's how I am. That's why I'm staying with the 3 MOAs. I just ordered the another Atibal red dot, the better one, the one that comes with the electronic, with the where you increase it and decrease it with the little buttons. I figured I'd been in this now for about a year with Atibal, with the dial. I said, you know what, let me pay a little bit more and I'll try that one out and see how I like it. And I also just ordered a Hollow Sun. Okay, I have a Primary Arms 1-8, and that one's got the ACCS reticle on it, and I'm really starting to like that. For distance shooting. So I ordered the Hollow Sun that also, it's a red dot that also has the ACCS reticle built into that. So that's also something I'm looking forward to playing with. Now, of course, with that, that's a $215 red dot. I think with the discounts and all that, I think I got it for about $185. So obviously, I'm getting into a lot more money now than the $80 that I'm spending on these guys. But that's the cool thing with these Atibals is that you can have 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 really expensive red dots, and then you can have a lot of these cheap ones that you can throw around on different rifles. Throw it on a pistol, see how that works out for you. that's my thought on Atibal. It's a I'm pretty pleased with the product. It's durable. It's bright enough for sunny day shooting. It takes the AAA battery, which I really like using. I mentioned that I did have some issues when I first got them with the and I had to return them, but the replacements that I got were very good, and they've been good for about a year now, and I expect they'll still be good. So those are my thoughts on Atibal. Hey everyone, I just wanted to add one more thing on this Atibal MCRD Pro red dot. It is a low profile red dot, which I like, okay, because basically on the, what that means is I have to use the riser on the AR, but the cool thing is if you're using an AK, for example, basically because this dust cover comes with a mount built in, okay, so if because it's a low profile, you can just go right on top of it, or if you have a rail that sits on your gas tube here, you can get a co-witness because it sits low enough. And on this Beretta, again, because of the low profile, I'm able to co-witness the fixed sights that come on the gun. So that's another cool thing about the because it's a low profile, you have that option to to mount it to a gun that already has like fixed sights like this. Because if this had a riser built into it, I would not be able to get the co-witness. So I just thought I'd mention that. The low profile is a plus. However, if you are mounting on an AR, you're going to need the riser. I think I used a 0.83 of an inch riser. That's the one that I believe gives me a. Let me see. I think it's an absolute co-witness. Let me double check that. No, it's a bottom 1/3 co-witness. So I'm using a bottom 1/3 co-witness, and it works pretty good. All right, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.